Hello, everyone. The story I'm going to tell you today begins with a stony pit. I want you to imagine it, so close your eyes. This stony pit is dark and smelly. In fact, it's more than just a pit, it's a den. It smells like a cat's litter tray which hasn't been cleaned for weeks. It also smells of rotten meat because on the floor there are some big chewed bones. One looks like an animal's leg. Now imagine the smell and the bones on the floor. Now open your eyes. If I tell you that the title of this story is Teeth and Claws, can you guess what kind of animals live in this den? In this dark, smelly, stony, bony den, there lived a family of hungry lions. They weren't lions like this. They were more like this. They were the type of lions that would eat you for breakfast. The lion's den belonged to a king, and sometimes when the king wanted to get rid of someone who disobeyed him, he would feed them to the lions. That's what he used instead of prison. The king had lots of important people working for him who gave him advice, but the best of them all was a man called Daniel. Daniel was one of God's people, and he was good and kind, and the people trusted him. So the king decided to give him the top job. This made the other advisors very jealous of Daniel. They complained, "It's not fair. What makes him so special?" So they plotted to get Daniel into trouble. Big trouble. Trouble with teeth and claws. They talked the king into making a new law which said, when you say your prayers, pray to the king. If you pray to anyone else, you'll be fed to the lions by order of the king. The very next morning, Daniel knelt by his window as he always did, bowed his head and prayed, not to the king, but to God. Daniel's enemies were watching. They grabbed him, dragged him in front of the king, and the king was sad, very sad. He liked Daniel, but he couldn't break his own law. The advisors said that Daniel had to be thrown into the lion's den, and the king agreed. But even as the king gave the order, he whispered a prayer that no one could hear, a prayer to Daniel's God that somehow Daniel might be saved. The pit was dark, the pit was deep. The lions covered its floor like a shaggy, growling carpet. They leapt to their feet in a second when Daniel landed among them. They licked their lips. They showed their great teeth. Their eyes shone bright and fierce. They opened their eyes and moved towards their dinner. And then they stopped. "Shoo! Stop it! Go away!" shouted a voice right behind Daniel. The lions' mouths snapped shut. Their tails drooped. They knew they wouldn't be getting any dinner tonight, so they retreated to the dark corners of their den and grumpily settled down to sleep. Slowly Daniel turned around and looked up into the face of an enormous angel. "Nothing to worry about now," the angel smiled. "God sent me to watch over you. Now, why don't you get some sleep?" The king didn't sleep much that night, though, and early the next morning he hurried to the lion's den to see what had happened. He was amazed and delighted when he found Daniel safe. "Pull Daniel out," he ordered his men, "and while you're at it, take the men who talked me into making that silly law and dump them into the pit instead." The angel looked at the lions as he left and nodded his head as if he were giving them permission. The hungry lions pounced, and that was the end of the men who tried to get Daniel killed. The king put his arm round Daniel and walked him back to the palace. Then he made a new law. Daniel's God is the real, living God who works wonders. He saved Daniel from the lions. Now all my people will worship him by order of the king. There aren't many stories about Daniel in the Bible, but we know that he was a friend of God and he stood up for God even when things were difficult. He'd been taken from his home by the army, but he was still loyal to God. He lived in a country where everyone else believed different things, but he was still loyal to God. He worked for a king who had the power to kill him, but he was still loyal to God. And God was loyal to him and protected him. I wonder what being loyal to someone means. Think about your best friends and your brothers and sisters. Can you think of times when you've stood up for them, or helped them when they're hurt, or stayed with them when they're on their own? That's being loyal. Sometimes being loyal is difficult. It's hard if someone is laughing at your friend and sticking with them means you get laughed at too. It's hard if someone makes fun of your brother or sister and standing up for them means you get left out or ignored. It's hard if no one believes in the things that you do and you feel like the odd one out. Here are some questions for you to think about. You might like to pause the video to think about them. I wonder if there are other ways we can be loyal. We'll say a prayer. There's a song which goes, "Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known." Please God, help us to be brave like Daniel and to stand up for what is good and right. Help us to be loyal friends. Help us to know that you are loyal to us. Amen.